But the technical difficulty is this man is a professional. He goes all the way. Well, this is Jersey Joe.
It doesn't.
Reaver After Dark.
Want the Sackheads to give you a blessing?
8 p.m. on shrmedia.com. Was an extremely great conservative commentator.
Classified my ass!
Government is another way to say better than you.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome to the Reaver After Dark show with your hosts, Jersey Boys and Jersey Joe, and Crash, the idiot making noise in the background trying to screw me up. The Reaver After Dark show is every Wednesday, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com, click on the chat room button, join the conversations. We will be delivering news, political commentary, and insulting each other as much as we can. If you want to contact us, go to reaver.one, click on the contact button, send us a message, or you can email us, jerseyjoe@reaver.one, or crash@reaver.one. Any of the hate mail goes to Crash automatically.
You gotta love filters. Hey, you said quiet. I was doing the hush falls over a crowd thing. You know?
Surprised I didn't get the golf clap of just...
Well, you know what? Get a sound effects board, you cheap bastard. Then I
do.
For you.
What do you think I do while you're talking? I'm playing sound effects. You just can't hear them.
Oh. Oh. Orange guy, eh? Okay.
Certainly.
That sounds like some evil shenanigans.
You say shenanigans, I'm going to pistol whip somebody.
Yeah.
What's the name of that restaurant you like, Favre? Shenanigans. Here's my gun, sir.
I love that movie.
They're trying to make the sequel right now.
You know what? I'm all for it. Sequels go one of two ways. They're either complete flops or they're really, really good. The problem is there's certain movies that I just don't think should ever be sequeled. And I'm sorry, that one, it's one of them. It was good as a standalone. I cannot see them making a good sequel.
Yeah, but it's been so many years since it came out, it's given them time to...
I don't see it. It's possible. The problem is anybody that actually watched the first one and truly enjoyed it on any type of stupidity level, they're just going to be doing the comparisons the entire time. I don't know. I just don't see it. But anyway,
yeah.
Let's get on with some other of the stupid news, because with all the political stuff going on, we know there's plenty of stupid news out there.
Oh, yes. And this was more of a meme someone put together of different definitions. And it really piqued my interest because it's annoying. It annoys the piss out of me. So, Black Pride, according to Wiki, Black Pride is a movement encouraging people to take pride in being black, sometimes in the form of black supremacy. Related movements include black nationalism, Black Panther, Afrocentrism, and black supremacy. In the United States, Asian pride is a positive stance to being Asian American. The term arose from influence in the hip-hop culture within. Gay pride, or LGBT pride, is the positive stance against discrimination and violence towards lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender... Shut up. People to promote. Now, all those are good things. I have... Who? What are you talking to?
I'm not talking to you, that's for sure.
Yeah, I could tell that. I just hear...
Put me on mute.
You're on mute. I can't tell what you're saying when you're on mute.
I got 5 minutes.
So, now along with all those three, which I have no issue against, I really have no issue on it. Everybody should be proud of their heritage. Everybody should be very, very, very proud.
But nothing was missing, and then the cops back.
But white pride is a slogan sometimes used by white supremacists, white nationalists, and neo-Nazis and white supremacist organizations to signify their racist viewpoints. So it's not okay to have white pride, but it's okay to have black pride, Asian pride, gay pride. Every other pride is allowed. But white pride is a bad thing. When did being proud of being white turn into a racist overtone? This really got to me, and it's really had my head spinning since I found it. And I thought, okay, you know how memes are, people make shit up. I'm lazy, I don't like typing, I make a lot of mistakes. So I went to Wikipedia on each one. And it was there. That's where it was. There is this huge movement that is now racist and against the white culture. I mean, we're hearing all these little things popping up of White Shaming Month. You have to apologize for what your ancestors and be apologetic for what your ancestors. Come on! I am proud of who I am. I am proud that I am a white male. I am not racist towards anybody. I do not, Trying to see if Crash is back. I think he's talking to someone right now. As everybody knows, he calls in from a phone line. So, it'd be kind of hard for him to be here, since he's in New Jersey and I'm in Florida. So, that would be pretty hard. It's...
Oh, I carry that. I'm not turning on love. My stuff just took like $20, $30 worth of smoke from it.
When did it become bad to be white? This goes really to my theory of... It really goes to my theory that we woke up in Bizarre World about 7 years ago. I mean, seriously. We had to have woken up Bizarre World. I have no issue, and I know the Democrats liberals will try to turn it around saying I'm being racist. No, I want black people to be proud. I want Asian people to be proud. I want Muslims to be proud. Just don't try to kill us. Black, purple, pink, red, blue, freaking rainbow colored, I don't care. Be proud. But when you try to push it that one race can't be proud, that is racism within itself. And that is a sorry state that we are in right now. We are in this really sad state of a government. Because I don't see Obama standing out there telling everybody that we must be proud. That it's not the white man. I hear the quite opposite going on, and everything that goes on is the white man's fault. I'm going to go a little different. I'm going to say what's going on with the minorities is a Democrat fault. Democrats have been anti-minority for years. And it still goes on. They just don't say it to your face. And they play the heartstrings of people and the hatred. And they play that to work on your hatred. To hate people that aren't even against you. Yes, you were an asshole, yo-yo.
Apologies.
No problem. I just figured it'd be easier to have you call back and then trying to figure out when you were done.
No, I was trying to time it, and I heard you undo me, and then put me back on. I was like, all right.
Yeah,
so I was trying to listen to see what was going on, so I knew where to jump back in.
Well, when I put you on mute, I can't hear you at all, so I didn't know when you were done or not. That was
I tried to tell you how much time to give me. I was trying to give myself like one smoke length, which is about 5 minutes. Right. I figured that'd be enough time to get him out of here. Are we on a commercial?
No, we're on air.
Oh, well, hey, guys.
It's only 11 after, dumbass. I've been talking about that mem,
yeah.
the Black Pride.
So that medicine is not for me. It was for somebody else. Anyway. Anyway. Well, I don't know exactly where you left off, but I heard you already. I was listening in. You were doing the whole Wikipedia thing?
Yeah, and I understand it is edible by, anybody, everybody, but still.
Essentially, it's a public dictionary, encyclopedia, whatever the hell it is you want to call it. There's two things about it. One, you can't quote from it in any type of actual research paper because it's not considered legitimate for those needs. But the nice thing about it is it kind of gives a consensus of what the mass population truly believes. And that's actually, I think, is more troubling than anything else, is the majority of the population is perfectly fine with stigmatizing white people as being racist if we're proud of ourselves, but everybody else, if they're proud of themselves, well, then that's a good thing. You should be. Oh, no, wait, you're white? No, you should be shamed. You're not. That's crap. I'm sorry. Double standard.
That's an understatement.
Yeah, no shit. Well, it's definitely. I mean, it could be a triple standard. I mean, if you've got Black Pride and you're a lesbian, well, that's a triple standard. Or a really good movie. I don't know.
It's getting really sick and sad.
Falls over the crowd. You did not know what to do with that one.
No, I didn't. But I also want to get to the next thing is the storm names. Storm names. Well, what's going on in the theme of that mem? So there's a British thing that's going on that storm names are criticized for being too white. Now, that's actually kind of bad because what if it's a snowstorm? I mean, it is white. Shouldn't it have a white name?
Well, then that means any Dust Bowl should be, wait, would this be racist?
Probably. But this is in Britain. Name of British storms are too white to be representative, according to the UN Special Rapporteur for Weather Systems, who said it was evidence of systematic racism in Britain.
Uh-huh. You know what? I don't give a crap what the hell the UN says about Britain, what the hell the UN says about us. You know what? The freaking United Nations, this is not their goddamn job.
Well, what's funny is...
Their goddamn job is not to police the individual...
Who is in charge of the humanity? There's a group for humanity in the UN, and they have Iran heading it for the humane treatment of humans, or some shit like that. And it's Iran running it. That's like
giving... You know what? It could be worse. It could be worse. They could have a Muslim in charge of women's rights. Oh, crap. I just give them an idea.
Oh, shit. Yeah, but that would also be like giving Jeffrey Dahmer the job of cleaning up the mortuaries. That's a buffet for him.
Valid.
Look at the names. This woman goes on. Wendy, Nigel, Frank, Katie. They're not exactly multicultural, are they? Children of all genders and ethnic groups need positive role models, and the children are our future. They don't find them in the Star Wars toys, and they don't find them in the names of their storms either. Yeah, but you know what's funny? If they actually had the names, if they did the names...
What? I'm sorry. Wait, hold on. Real quick. What kid, black, white, yellow, or purple, is named Jabba? I'm sorry.
Well, that's what they don't find.
Where do Star Wars times come from?
They don't find any role models in Star Wars toys. But if they would have had these names that went after black people. Look at that, that's racist. They're saying that we is destructive like a storm.
You know what? I'm gonna very quickly end this whole freaking debate, and I'm gonna use their own goddamn crap against them. The storm might be named Elizabeth, but it's actually an African, half Asian man who's identifying as something else. So there. On those apples.
It's friggin' ridiculous. And now,
and these are people making six-figure salaries, folks.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. But the Parliament in England is going to vote on whether to change the name Storm Jake to Storm Jamal and Storm Steve to Storm Shazai.
God bless you.
Yeah, exactly. You know how I am with names. I butcher them and I don't give a shit. It's absolutely ridiculous.
I'm sorry, that has got to be one. I mean, I've seen some stupid things.
And we worked in EMS.
That has got to be one of the most ridiculous.
It's speechless.
I don't. I just don't even know where the hell to go with that. Other than right now, I'm trying to figure out which side of the ethnicity Hurricane Katrina and Rita are sitting on.
Critics of social
Critics
of social media have pointed out the designated black name of Desmond is not particularly black, and that having only one black storm was deliberately offensive, given that storm clouds are not white.
Oh my God.
Can you say racism has officially jumped the shark? Or the accusation of racism?
Then stop naming tsunamis after freaking Asian names. Because you know what? That's racist. Don't name freaking... Oh my freaking Lord. Oh my God.
It hurts your brain, doesn't it?
So the problem is right now I'm just sitting here going, I don't feel like continuing to wipe my boot off every time I get shit on it from shoving it up some moron's ass.
Well, you know, it's either from shoving it up or stepping on it from when they're talking. The shit they talk is freaking ridiculous.
Last time I went through my recertification class, I was told I am no longer allowed to step on somebody's throat while they are trying to talk to me. I was told that's no longer permissible. Unless you're, in the Obama cabinet, and then you can do whatever the fuck it is you want. But, yeah.
Well, that would be as if Obama was drowning in a, quicksand. I didn't see nothing. Great, now I'll have to...
What quicksand? I thought there was a...
I'll have a knock on my door. Well, not a knock. A door come barreling down. You made a death threat! No, I did not. I said I probably wouldn't see, him sinking in quicksand.
The closest we would ever see, and I'm not saying, I may disagree with the guy, I may not like the guy, it doesn't mean I want to see the guy dead, but the closest, in all honesty, we will ever see to him sinking in quicksand is going to be on the 16th hole in a sand trap.
I was thinking the proverbial political quicksand. Yeah.
No, because he just rewrites the laws of physics so the sand solidifies underneath of him.
Ah.
Just like he rewrites everything else when it comes to constitutional law.
I see it so much anymore, and it's mind-numbing. And I've said it before, and I think I've said it with you. I swear we woke up in Reverso land 7 years ago.
Yeah, I heard. I was poking around on podcasts and YouTube and stuff like that earlier, and there was something really interesting I came across. I'm not going to quote it word for word because honestly, I can't remember which committee it was and which hearing this was in. But A senator was questioning another individual in committee, and was asking him point blank, if he can rewrite minimum sentencing laws, he can ignore those, and he can ignore immigration laws. What stops the president from ignoring rewriting the running for a third term? What is it, the 22nd Amendment, correct?
Yeah, something like that.
What would stop him from doing that? And the response was, we've already covered this numerous times. We don't need to go over it again. Well, amuse me. Let's go over it one more time. What would stop him from ignoring that law when he has already ignored minimum sentences and immigration laws? Well, he just simply couldn't do it. We live in a land of laws. He has to obey them the same as anybody else. I'm sorry, what kind of answer was that? Essentially, you just said nothing stops him because you're saying that he has to obey them, which he doesn't, and he doesn't get in trouble for it. So,
oh my God!
Talk about the political circle jerk. You gave the answer that on the surface sounds correct, but anybody that actually looks at this stuff is going to know what kind of answer was that. He ignored the other two.
Oh my God!
Yeah, everybody else lives in the land of law, except him. He lives in the land of, I have a pen and a phone. I just wonder how many times he confuses the two.
That would explain some of the dead brain cells. Well, it's that time for a commercial.
Anyway.
You're listening to The Reaver After Dark with your hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash. And you're listening right here on shrmedia.com and hppundit.com. We'll be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
You have been listening to Reaver After Dark, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians.
You got a business. You didn't build that.
A team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cow for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you missed any of the Reaver of Common Sense or Reaver After Dark show, just go to Reaver.1. While you're there, click the like button so you can keep up with everything Reaver. Now, back to the show.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome to the Reaver After Dark show. Just mute the other idiot. With your host, the Jersey Boys, Georgie Joe and Crass. Now I can't even speak right. You jackass.
Yeah, there's a shocker. To get the penis out of your mouth.
That's what your wife was telling me the other night.
Oh, you unmuted me. Oh, okay.
All right, the Reaver After Dark show is every Wednesday, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room. Join the conversation. We'll be delivering news, political commentary, and I told you a lot of insults back and forth. So if you want to email and complain, go to crash@reaver.1.
That's all right. My wife said that she couldn't find a toothpick, so she figured she'd borrow your dick.
Yeah. She still said it was bigger than yours.
Yeah, well.
All right, let's get back to the show. So,
I rely on other personal traits of myself to take care of business. Ask your wife.
She said she was bored that night. So, I'm pretty sure we're going to cover this, like, literally real quickly. Carly Fioroni and Miss I'm in this to the end. I am not dropping out no matter what. Oh, I scored that low. I'm shutting my campaign down. And Mr. Fat Ass Chris Christie. I get him and the old Florida governor. I can't remember his dumbass name. I'm a Democrat. I'm a Republican. I'm an independent. I'm a Democrat. The man doesn't know what the hell he is. Well, he is a money-grubbing, flip-flopping piece of garbage, but other than that...
Oh, Christ.
But Chris Christie of New Jersey has dropped out officially. And he was another one.
I don't know. I'm not sure if he's officially dropped. The last thing I heard was earlier today. He was coming back to Jersey to reassess his campaign, which was, as far as I took it, that was the unofficial... I'm dropping.
No, he came out today, this evening. I think it was around 4 or 5 or something like that.
He did? Oh, okay. All right, well, then you got the more current news.
Yeah.
But, I never saw him getting past New Hampshire. I mean...
He actually thought he had a chance to win New Hampshire.
Well, the only positive that actually... if I wanted to say there was a positive that came out of it for him was his ranking did go up after New Hampshire. I mean, it did go up, but
1 point is that really up? Listen, you know how I feel about him. He's been a piece of shit with New Jersey. He may have corrected a few issues, but he is still a liberal in conservative clothing. He does not want to. Yeah. He's not a gun-friendly, Constitution-friendly.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny because he's. You want to talk about something that flip-flops. When it comes to his actual policies, he'll side completely liberal on one aspect and completely conservative on the next. I mean, if he was
bipolar?
At least willing to, honestly, I just think it has to do with what size the cheeseburger was he had for lunch. But
that depends on which lane he's going to shut down. Listen, I'm going to say, I'd make fun of that. I don't think he would have been stupid to have any part of that. He would have been stupid. It would have been dumb of him to have any part of it. It would have ended his career. The shutdown of the Washington Bridge. Do I think it was somebody in his office that did it on their own? Yes. thinking they were doing something good, and it bit them in the ass.
You know what? In all honesty, that whole thing, my personal opinion, that entire scandal. Okay, I'm sorry. It really wasn't much of a fucking scandal.
No, how often is lanes closed on that bridge?
It was a dickheaded move by some politician who exactly, you know what, we'll probably never truly know, all right? But it resulted in delays, and a lot of it got blown way the frick out of proportion. Yeah. And the funny thing is, the people that they're saying it affected, they only talked to very limited people, and a lot of them had ties on one side or the other. Yep. For the most part, it was nothing more than a freaking inconvenience for a lot of people for a brief period of time, which I'm not going to make light of. Yes, it sucks. I've driven the traffic up there, yes.
So have I.
But you know what? Even without that shutdown, traffic up there fucking sucks because New Jersey doesn't know how to organize anything. I mean, they could not organize a blood drive with automatic weapons.
They couldn't organize a blood drive with Count Dracula.
That might have been a really bad analogy on my part, but it gets the point across. Yours is better.
You know what? As I've said, and I'm from that area. I'm from New Jersey. How many times is there lane closures up there? All the friggin' time. All the friggin' time on that bridge.
There is always lane closure. And the screwed up thing is, actually, and here's the truly ironic thing, is given the work that I've done, I've been involved with some of it, and I've actually asked questions.
Oh, you've been involved with shutting down lanes for political purposes?
No, I've been involved with lanes being shut down for construction purposes, you wise ass. But but because of my involvement with some of that stuff, I've asked, why is this shut down? We're nowhere near this point. Why are we shutting this down? Why do we have this blocked? Oh, well, it's because... Never get a straight answer. But nobody would ever actually push to find an answer either. It's ironic that only one shutdown really got any attention, where all the other ones, it went completely unnoticed. I mean, every other shutdown's gone completely unnoticed. I've never been to that area of New Jersey and not had something shut down. Never. It was political, that entire thing. Their side and the other side. It was all political.
I know. And making it such a big thing wasn't political. What? Hello?
Is there all of a sudden it sounded like I was hearing our conversation from like 10 seconds ago being spit back out at me. It was weird.
Huh.
Sorry.
I had the laptop on for a second. I wanted to check the feed that we were sending, so I unplugged the speakers from the laptop. I didn't think the mic would pick that up. Damn.
Yeah, I was going to ask, is there a delay?
Well, of course, it's on internet, so there's a delay just on internet purposes.
So that's what that was. Okay.
Yeah,
it was weird. I heard myself making a comment that I made 10 seconds ago. I was like, oh my God.
I didn't think that this mic would pick it up. Damn. I'm impressed. I was checking on the feed. I thought there was an issue. So I have my laptop, and I can't play it through my mixer because then it will go through the broadcast. So sometimes I'll unplug the speaker, the speaker cable, to let it play so I can hear something.
I'll be honest with you. If you've done that in the past, I've never heard it. It's the first time I've ever heard that.
Well, you also stopped talking when that happened, so there was no noise at all. So you may have got that delay and heard it from there. All right. So in New Hampshire, 2 out of the 3 GOP voters want a pause to Islamic immigration. Now, this is something, I know it's going to be a shock to a lot of people, something that Trump had originally came up with that he got lambasted for because it was twisted to say he wanted a permanent, but it was a temporary pause to Islamic immigration until the federal government can suppress imported jihadis. I mean, we should not be paying to bring in our own destruction. But this government, our current administration, feels that that's a good thing.
No. Yeah, I got a few comments, but I'm not going to broadcast.
Especially...
Honestly, the biggest thing...
Go ahead. Trump had made this comment shortly after San Bernardino jihadi attacks. And I'm getting tired of these attacks that happen on our soil. They're blown off and, explained as being bullshit and whatever kind of excuse you come up with. These are real attacks that are happening on our soil. They just don't want the average American knowing that this shit is happening. So to have a candidate, now 2/3 of the GOP voters in New Hampshire are agreeing that we need to stop this temporarily.
Mm-hmm.
Go.
The problem is, it's not going to... I mean, I hate to put it this way, but the Democratic Party, I'd like to push this whole we live in a democracy, blah, blah, blah. They're the reason why nothing will ever actually change. Look at the what is it? The not the votes. I'm sorry. What
delegates.
Is the delegates and the electoral, not the electoral votes at this point, but the delegates. Okay, so the majority of New Hampshire
said 60-40.
They want Bernie Sanders. Okay, the majority of the Democratic voters said we want Bernie Sanders. Okay, fine. How does Hillary Clinton get more delegates on her side?
Let's back it up so viewers that don't know. With the vote the way it went down, Bernie Sanders had 13 delegates and Hillary Clinton had 9 from the votes.
Yeah, explain that those delegates, that comes from the percentage of votes that the people cast. So depending on how many people vote for that candidate, then assigns a delegate to then drop the ballot at the convention this summer to put that person on the billet, on the ticket. Okay, that's supposedly how the democratic process works. Technically, we don't elect anybody. We're just voicing an opinion, and then a person who we don't know, we have no say over, an appointed individual actually drops a name. And they've done it in the past. They can actually change their mind. Well, you continue going, and then I'll get into my rant.
What's going on in New Hampshire is, and actually, I was looking at how many delegates each candidate has. Hillary's already at like 850-something. There's what's called super delegates, where they don't answer to the public. And there's 1,000-some, or something ridiculous number. I wish I would have saved that article just for this. I didn't think we were going to talk about it. But they've already spoken that it's only like maybe 10 are going to go Bernie side, but they need 2,357 delegates to win the nomination on the Democratic side. But what's happening in New Hampshire is that there's she's walking away now actually with 15 delegates, and he's walking out with the 13 of the votes. The other, 6?
Are undecided at this point.
Well, no, the 6 have decided to vote with her. One of them is a super delegate. The other 5, I forget how they dole them out, but they all went to Hillary. So she's walking out with more delegates.
She's walking out with 50. She's out of New Hampshire. She's walking out with 15. He's walking out with 13. Okay, and the reason why she's getting the lead is because of these non-committal delegates, that the super delegates, they don't answer, they don't have to pay attention to what the people want. So what are they paying attention to? Gee, I wonder. Personal interest? Lobbying groups? Big corporate? Whatever. I mean, call it whatever the hell it is you want. They're not answering for us. They're not answering to us. And that was the point behind an election is the people elected are supposed to be elected by the people. Well, obviously that's not happening. Now, I could be wrong, but I believe that you're referencing in your article is actually Bernie Sanders has something overall at this point. It's looking like he's got, I can't remember, it's like 10, 12, total when you look at the big picture. She has got 400 and something.
Yeah, it's something ridiculous.
45 to 1. It's 45 to 1 is the ratio I remember at this point, which essentially means that at this point, given the amount that's needed to win the delegation, She's already a third of the way there. By having a 35-1 lead, she's already a third of the way to winning the race. And it just began. So, I'm sorry, who are these people representing? I mean, that's honestly what I'd like to know. Who the hell are they representing? Because so far, only 2 states have cast anything.
Okay, let me butt in real quick. The Democratic delegates, you need 2,382 to win the vote. Right now, Hillary Clinton is at 394 to Bernie Sanders 44. Now, there's 4,329 total delegates. Now, there's also 2 super delegates in New Hampshire that have not made up their mind. So there's 2 more votes. There is 24 elected delegates. Or I should say delegates that come from the popular vote. 24. And the others come from, who they want to pick. That's not the Democratic way.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
And that's what the problem is. Every time I've ever tried to look into it, I've ever tried to figure out where these additional people come from, I can never actually figure it out. I ask the question, I can never get a straight answer. It doesn't seem to matter where you ask or how you ask it. The problem is they're not coming from the people. They're coming from elsewhere, but it's still part of the system. Now, I can't remember, and so I'm going to just put that right out there. I can't exactly tell you which presidential race it was, but this is how electoral votes work as well. Each state has so many electoral votes, and it's based on the population. It's a percentage-based system. So based on how many people live in the state, depends on how many electoral votes that state gets. So if they report that, Bernie Sanders won Idaho, then that means that the electoral votes from Idaho are going to Bernie Sanders. Okay, the people of Idaho said, we want Bernie Sanders. Well, that's where the electoral votes go. Now, if there's only 6 electoral votes there,
Iowa.
But New York State, Iowa, okay.
Yeah.
There's only 6 electoral votes there, but New York State has 22, and Clinton wins that one.
Iowa,
well, she's got one hell of a lead.
Iowa has 52, and New York has 292, but California has 546 delegates.
Which is the reason why it's such a big state. That's the reason why they focus on certain states over others. Now, the problem with the system is we're putting our faith in a system where we're saying, we're casting a ballot, and we say, we want this person. Now, it can be a 51 to 49% vote. Well, majority rules, correct? So 51% of the population say, we want this person, then that's where all the votes are supposed to go. It's happened in past presidential elections where a delegate, one of these electoral delegates, when they go to drop in what's supposed to be the people's vote, they change their minds, and they vote for the other guy. And that has changed at least one election in history. I just cannot remember which one, and now I'm going to have to go research it, and I'll bring it back next week. But
give the breakdown.
Like I said, I apologize.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
We did not plan on talking about this.
Research it,
but I want to give the breakdown. It's 85. The pledge votes, which are the votes by people voting, is 85% of the delegates. Now, the super delegates make up of they're called unpledged delegates. 15% of the Democrat vote goes from that, which that's not the democratic process. And the Republicans pretty much.
And most people, the problem is, most people will look at that, and I can tell you what most people will. Well, wait a second, 85% is what the people want. Well, what difference does 15% make?
Oh, big difference.
What difference does it make? Well, you know what? It makes a massive freaking difference. I'm sorry, I'm a hockey fan. And any hockey fan will tell you, even with few seconds left on the clock,
takes
the
3
team
seconds.
That's winning can lose a game.
3 seconds, you can
You
score
can
a goal.
lose a game. You can lose a game with seconds left. So don't tell me that 15% is small. It's not. It's huge.
Yep.
When it comes to close races, Every single percent counts. And don't lecture me about the democratic process when obviously it does not exist. Because this is crap.
It's scary. As you get older, you get more involved in it, you just start going, holy shit.
No, let's say, as you get older, you actually learn to think.
Yeah.
You get outside of the indoctrination phase.
Well, I think we blew through our commercial break. I don't think we'll be taking that today.
Well, what about your paid sponsors?
Oh, I know. What?
All those guys dropping...
4 of those commercials are mine?
All those guys that you have to pay money to actually put their names in your show?
So
I'm going to get muted again soon.
I mean, but what we're talking about is what originally how we started talking about that is the Islamic immigration that's going on. And if you want to call it immigration, I call it invasion, because that is what's going on. If you're paying any attention, and I don't know if I told you this or if you read it, but I reported on it today that in Canada, 7 military bases, they're kicking all the military personnel off of those 7 bases and are going to house the Muslims. They're stopping the war against ISIS and then kicking the military off the base for the people they were just fighting.
Yep, and the taxpayers will pay for that.
Oh, yeah, the bill is extravagant.
I read about that.
You're talking about they're going to be paying for mosques to be built, Korans, foot washing stations, all this crap has to be built for them. And then to pay them, it's like $2,000 a month they're going to get from the government. What? Yeah, Canada's going to pay them $2,000.
Are you flipping kidding me?
That's not counting the Medicaid and welfare that they can apply for. How long before that comes to America? And we've already seen it where they've tried to do it. Here in Florida, they tried to put these Muslims on an active military base. An active military base that you need clearance to get on. They're putting in a bunch of goddamn possible terrorists on it.
Yeah, and everybody calls constitutionalists, and they call everybody that is standing up against this type of crap as being extremists.
Yes.
We're gun grabbing lunatics, and we're racist, and we're terrorists, and everything else. No, we're actually thinking about our country, about what we consider a great nation. What our forefathers, and you know what? Sorry, I'm not even going to go back that far. I'm going to say what my father fought for, my uncle.
Yeah. We have fought wars
my
for less.
Grandfather. All right, every single member of my family, both male and female, have served their country. They've bled for this country, and they've defended our rights. And now they're getting stripped away because they might insult somebody from another freaking country who doesn't give a crap about where they come from? I'm sorry.
They use our constitutional laws against us.
I don't give a shit about their rights. And what was it? One of the things that popped up, I mean, not to, beat the... Well, I'm not going to say it's a dead horse because it's still alive and kicking, but the whole gun debate, I heard a great counterpoint today. And I just figured I'd throw it out there. Everybody likes to use Australia, right?
Yeah.
Australia had a mass shooting, and they instituted 100% ban, and everything went down, blah, blah, blah. Somebody turned around, and they didn't do the whole statistic thing. They didn't, point out the flaws in the statistics that keep getting brought up and everybody keeps ignoring. They went a different road, which I actually found rather refreshing. They said, well, good for Australia. Australia is a fucking island. The United States of America is not. Our southern border is being invaded by drug cartels and criminals with guns. And you're going to remove the right of us to defend ourselves? And then you want to see what's going to happen. We're not an island.
That's the same thing that was said about Britain.
Stop people from coming over.
Britain, the same thing was talked about as Britain. They're an island. It is easier to control what comes in and off their island. When you're not an island, when you have land out north and south and things can be transported. And what's worse is when our governments give the guns to cartels that are to the south of us that then come into our country and sell them illegally to illegal people and criminals, it doesn't help the process.
Actually, you know what? That was a really good point. You said north and south.
I actually was
not going to... Well, you said north and south, which you are correct. We have land mass in the north and the south. Now, as far as I know, we don't have massive criminal elements coming in from the north, which is the reason why I picked on the south, because that is the current issue. However...
You are correct, but it is starting to reverse where Muslims are coming in from the north.
I know, but now here I've got a very specific point.
Yes, I know you do.
They're talking about completely removing gun rights from America. Back in the 1920s was prohibition. They completely removed all alcohol. Where did most of the alcohol come from?
Canada.
Let's see. Canada.
Hey?
Yeah. Canada, eh?
No, that one was Australian, you dumbass. Sorry, you did it with Australia. Put another shrimp on the bummy, eh?
Yeah, I fell right into that one. I guess I've had too many of those damn Canadian beers.
Well, it's what's worse is I was listening to some comic the other day, and he was trying to do an Australian voice, and he sounded. Well, this guy, he's like trying to do Australian accent, and he sounds like a pirate. And he's like, I don't know why. I just start sounding like a pirate. Arr! There was the only thing funny the guy said the whole special.
I don't know. The only thing I can say about pirates is drinking rum before noon does not make you an alcoholic. It makes you a pirate. Be a pirate.
Arr.
I always thought that was better than Jim and Buffett's It's 5 o'clock somewhere, because it gives me an extra 5 hours if I want to have a drink.
See, I go just by, the Slash album where he had the song It's 5 o'clock somewhere, because he came up with the story. He was sitting at a bar in some country, I forget where he said it, and it didn't meet what was going on, and his plane was getting ready to take off, and he asked for like a Jack Daniels. They're like, well, we're not allowed serve before 5 o'clock. And he looked at him, and the guy was like, "Yo, it's 5 o'clock. Someone, here you go," and gave him a Jack Daniels. And he's like, "Damn, that would make a good song." All right.
Very true.
Now the question is, this is the $1 million question. Will Loretta Lynch crack under the pressure and step aside in the Clinton email probe scandal and fraudulent financial of the Clinton Foundation? Will she step aside?
Nope.
I don't have an answer at this point, I'll be honest. The problem is she was elected. Not elected. She was go ahead.
Appointed. The reason I'm saying no is twofold. One, she's too well insulated and protected. That's already been proven. She thinks she's pretty much untouchable in a lot of aspects. Now, number two, would she step aside publicly to try to garner some favoritism or garner some votes or goodwill? Yes. I could see the political move for her to step aside publicly, but she'll stay involved in the whole damn thing. She's the Attorney General. She's going to keep her fingers on the pulse, regardless. She's going to influence this regardless, because it's in her interest to do so for numerous reasons. One, it protects her because she's culpable in at least parts of this. Number two, I believe that she, as well as other people of influence, are banking on this being their next boss. And
but that's
right. You know what?
That's where it throws in a conflict of interest. And it doesn't help that she was appointed by Bill Clinton to one of her positions.
The thing is, unless her appointment is removed, she won't be out of it. So long as she's the Attorney General, she's going to be involved. Like I said, whether it's publicly or not.
I'm not arguing. I don't know. I don't know. If this was anybody else in America, this was me or you.
Oh, we would have been ordered to recuse ourselves already.
Not even if we were the ones that did this, we would have been in friggin' Leavenworth breaking rocks awaiting a trial. I mean, Petraeus did less than this, and he got railroaded. It's...
I'm sorry. I mean, you know what? The only difference between Clinton and Snowden is political connection.
Yes.
They both committed the same crime.
Yeah.
So why not the same damn punishment?
Yeah, but Snowden at least was trying...
extradited.
Snowden was at least trying to be a whistleblower, if anything. Now, I'm not agreeing what he did. I'm just saying he was trying to be a whistleblower.
No, he was trying to do what he felt was right. Now, maybe did he go about it the wrong way? Maybe were his tactics incorrect or inappropriate? Okay, fine. You know what? That's a debate for another time. He wasn't actually trying to hide or conceal. He was trying to publicize. Now, the outfall of that publication could be, or was, loss of U.S. citizen life, possibly. Or it was. Okay, fine. Well, her concealing was loss of U.S. citizen life. So, I'm sorry, where's the biggest difference is one was trying to make it public that there's a problem. The other one was trying to say, oop, there's a problem, let's hide it. Now, there's the difference.
Yep.
And I'm sorry.
I hate to cut you off.
Is worse.
I hate to cut you off, but it's that time.
Of course. Bastard, right when I get on a roll.
I know, I'm sorry.
Let me guess, he'd be sexist if I continued this, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
So, everybody...
It'd probably be ageist, too, since she's so damn old.
Help yours. All right, everybody, I will return tomorrow, my normal time, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. right here on shrmedia.com and hppundit.com. Until tomorrow, have a good day.
Good.
I've been around this world, yet I see no end. All shall fade to black again and again. This storm that's broken me, my only friend, yeah. In this river, all shall fade to black. In this river, ain't no coming back. In this river, all shall fade.